Right. So I'm pleased to introduce our next speaker, Amanda Jordan. So Amanda cut her teeth in local SEO by managing hundreds of G&B listings for law firms. I'm sure there's a few of you out there that can relate to that pain. She is currently the local SEO analyst for Locomotive, which is an agency that won Small Agency of the Year at the U.S. Search Awards last year. So at Locomotive, she works on strategy and audit and directs all the local projects at Locomotive. If you have any questions about Amanda's presentation, you can tweet at her at Amanda T. Jordan with the hashtag #WLSS. And so Amanda will get back to you on Twitter. So today, she's got a really interesting presentation that I know that I can learn a lot from at Whitespark. Amanda's going to present to you on Vibranium and other elements of landing pages that actually convert. So you're going to learn like how to take your landing pages to the next level. She's going to show you why it's important to add conversion opportunities throughout your landing pages and how to build in trust signals that are going to drive a lot of extra conversions that you're probably not picking up on already. Also, if you stick around to the end, she's going to share a checklist that she uses at Locomotive that will help you guide your own landing page optimization work. So I'm really looking forward to this. Take it away, Amanda. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm going to share my screen and we can get started.
Yep, perfect.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, you did it. There we go. Looking at that screen now.
Okay. My presentation is called Vibranium and Other Elements of Landing Pages That Actually Convert, because your landing pages should be extremely strong, like Vibranium. What I usually see are that the landing pages really don't cut it for me when it comes to local. They're usually either really text heavy or really text light. They usually don't display any trust signals or any review information. And this may be the first time a visitor sees your website is through these location landing pages. And if they're like this, you're not really putting your best foot forward, and this page is not going to convert for anyone. So what we're going to talk about is how to build pages that will actually convert, pages that will build trust and build interest in your business. These are also the pages your Google My Business listing should be linking to. So it's important to have those conversion opportunities and those trust signals on these pages, because this is what, if someone's looking at clicking on your Google My Business listing to get to your website, they're pretty close to the point where they're going to convert and become a lead for someone. And of course, you want that someone to be you. Common problems, like I said, low visibility, low conversion. Low visibility, that means you're probably not getting the basics right, which are the basic elements of any landing page: meta title, meta description, relevant content, alt text for your images, and things like that. Low conversion, you're probably falling short on call to actions and building trust in your reputation on those pages. So those are the things that we're going to approach today. So the basic elements, your content. Content shouldn't just be, here's what we do. It should be here's why you should choose us over our competitors. And that needs to be kind of an in-your-face, obvious thing. We want it to be the most easy decision the person makes is to pick up the phone and call you or fill out the form. So we need the content to be unique, and it needs to present your unique value proposition. And that includes not having the exact same content for multiple locations. I know that's very hard to do. As someone that manages clients that have several, like hundreds of locations sometimes, I understand that it can be difficult to have unique content, but it is important for it to be somewhat unique on every page, for every location landing page. Another basic local element is to have that local info, so the name, address, phone number, hours of operation, links to social media accounts and things like that. You should also have your location somewhere in the site navigation, whether that's a locations drop down with each state or specific location listed, or a locations menu option that goes to a map where you can side scroll and get to a specific location and look at the landing page for it. It just needs to be in your navigation somewhere. And we're going to also talk about making sure you have a good URL structure so that those pages are easy to find when the website is crawled to. This is kind of what I was talking about with UVP. It should be what you do really well, what your customer needs and cares about. And then it should not, don't include what your competitors are doing well. Don't talk about your competitors. Don't put in things that you know your competitors do well and you wish you did well, but you're not doing well. It should be a focus on you meeting the unique needs of the customer. And that's it. And setting yourself apart. So why should they be choosing you? Why should getting to that landing page be compelling enough for them to choose you? And this is what your content should tell them, not just we're located at 5th and Main, or I don't know, we buy houses. Like, it needs to be more specific than that. What do you do at buying houses that's better than your competitors? Do you have less steps? Is it easier for someone to come buy a house, sell their house to you? Make yourself different. This is one of the examples. This is an injury lawyer who puts in how much money that they've gotten in settlements and that they've recovered for clients. So this is a good UVP. If I saw this and I was looking for a lawyer, this would be something that would lead me to believe that they understand what they're doing. They've done it several times before. They've been successful at it. Local information. This is name, address, phone number, hours, city, street, in headers, and local schema, which is very important to include in the page. It's just another signal to Google about what their page is about, and you can include your name, address, phone number, and you can also include your aggregate rating schema in there, which is your review, the number of reviews you have and the rating that you have. So all of that information local information should be on this page. In fact, in my personal experience, I've actually had Google go to a client's website, have someone audit it, and click on the page to see if the information matched. So it's really important to do this. It may have been the case because I worked with a lot of law firms. So there's a lot of people who try to get away with some sketchy things, as you guys are aware of, with law firms. So they were double checking us. And it's important that your landing page matches your Google My Business listing in case that does happen. Here's a couple of examples of site navigation and URL structure. Site navigation, like I said, having a drop-down option, locations or areas served. There's a couple of different URL structures that you can go with, but pretty much anything that's a logical structure that includes some of the location information in the URL is perfectly fine. Taking care of the technical. I'm considering this as part of the basics. If your local landing pages aren't mobile friendly, if they're not fast, if they're not indexable, of course, everything else doesn't matter. You need to make sure those things are done. So make sure that you take care of all of the technical elements of your location landing pages if you're having visibility issues. And these are some of my favorite tools to help with that. And the basic elements are not enough. If you're depending on these elements for your location landing pages and that's all you're doing, you're not going to get the results that you're looking for. You may get some rankings, but you're not going to get many conversions from this. And that comes to these Vibranium and other elements. These are these are the things on your page that will make it stronger. These are the things that will make it capable of producing more leads for your clients. So call to actions are really important. I usually like to do 3 call to actions, 1 at the top of the page, and that's usually a form. 1 in the middle of the page, that's typically next to a trust signal. So it could be testimonials, it could be your rating and review from Google, it could be anything that shows that you have valuable experience and that your customers like you. Those are good places to put your call to actions. And I like to have one in the beginning, in the middle, and at the end of the page. And they don't always have to be like this. It doesn't always have to be a big thing. It could just be having your phone number displayed prominently at the top of the page. It could be having a contact form in the middle. And it could be a little section at the end of the page reminding them about the conversion opportunity and why they should choose you. So the trust and reputation part, these are the things that you should consider. Awards and accolades, testimonials, online ratings, and you also want to build confidence. I'll get into that build confidence part later because it's very important for some industries to build confidence in their ability. But awards and accolades, that's if your company has won any awards. If law firms, they get awards all the time. They get nominated for things all the time. Those types of things. Testimonials reviewed from clients or customers. Online ratings. So if you have good rating on BBB, if you have great ratings on Google, Yelp, anything like that, you want to share those onto that page because they will help show that you're a trustworthy business. Here's an example from a law firm of awards and accolades. Example of online ratings. And there aren't a lot of companies that are getting all of these things right with their location landing pages. You'll usually see elements that are really good on multiple websites, but there are very few that are combining them all. And there are very few guides right now for building location landing pages that also include all of these things together as one package or a checklist. They usually have some of these things, but none of them put them all together as part of a strategy for location landing pages. So reviews and testimonials, I really like these. I like that it included kind of like building trust at the same time, and by including like what their insurance offer us and what they ended up getting. So it's another way of showing value, and it's tying it into this review, which is even better. One of the things I like to think of is I think of location landing pages as a lot like PPC landing pages. If you built PPC landing pages, you know that these conversion tools and thinking in a way to get people converted is really important. That's the focus of the page. And location landing pages kind of need the same thing. They need to be treated the same way, but with a content focus added to it. So building confidence, depending on the type of business and the industry, there could be a need for further information to gain trust. And that could be videos of the process. So a laser tattoo removal company having a video of someone actually, a technician actually removing a tattoo is very helpful. Before and after photos of tattoo removal or home renovations or anything like that. Those things should be on your location landing page too, not just in your gallery. These things build confidence. These things can help this one page be enough to have someone convert instead of having to go to several pages on your site and not being sure about the process. You can give them all of the information they need to make a decision on this one page. And that's really the goal of these pages. And this is this process in action. This is one of my clients. I'm very proud of this. They had some of the elements of the page, of the location landing pages that I've been talking about, but they were still missing some things. And when I added those elements, we saw a huge improvement in their sessions and the visibility and their conversions for their location landing pages. This is when we started on the location landing pages, and you can see they have had a really good upward trajectory just from that one change. And this is just the sessions for their location landing pages. This is not their entire website, but for these pages specifically that we helped improve conversion opportunities for. All right. So if you have any questions, reach out to me on Twitter. I'm happy to answer them. You can find me on Twitter at Amanda T. Jordan.
All right. Thanks, Amanda. There was some pretty interesting ideas in there, some good tips that people could use. I think there's so many things that I think anyone taking a look at their local landing pages and references the checklist you're going to share, or they reference the information in your presentation, they're going to be like, oh yeah, we should really add that stuff to our location landing pages. So as you were presenting, a lot of thoughts came up for me. I got some questions for you.
Sure.
One question is, so we're really talking about these location landing pages. Let's say you've got 5-6 locations. You're a law firm with 5 or 6 locations. Mm-hmm. Everything that you just showed, it's perfect. It really makes sense. You're like, okay, cool. On each page, I want to make sure I have the awards. I want to have reviews. I want to have all these signals. I need to have multiple points of contact, lots of conversion points. All this stuff really makes great sense. What do you do if you're a single location business? You're just a law firm with one location.
Yeah.
So what do you suggest in that case? Does it go on the home page, or should they make a location page and then put everything there? What do you think?
If they have one location and they're not doing like an area serve thing where they have nearby cities that they're trying to build out their visibility for, the homepage is fine. If they have areas that they're trying to build out their visibility for, I would do a location landing page for each.
That's really interesting, actually. So yeah, let's say areas served, they got like 15 primary areas that they serve. They're going to make those great areas they serve pages. Based off of all the stuff that you just showed. What goes on the homepage? Just kind of like a general, like this is about the firm stuff?
Yeah. The homepage becomes general. Those pages become kind of the star for that city. It will help you rank organically a lot. Right. I've seen a huge improvement for clients from using this strategy just for organic rankings, never mind what's going to happen for Google Maps.
Yeah, right. Local
Yeah. So that's how I would treat it. And then link your Google My Business listing to that location landing page. An SEO agency did a test recently, a study, and they found that linking to a specific page that's not the homepage actually improved rankings if that page is developed.
I think that was Sterling Sky. I think.
Yeah, it was Sterling Sky.
Yeah. So
that was really affirming for me, because that's always what I always thought and the thing that I always saw. But it was great to see another agency come to the same conclusion.
It's been such a debate in local search for so long. It's like, if I've got 5 locations, do I link each location to their landing page, or is it smarter to link the homepage? And then the homepage group would say, well, most of the link authority goes to the homepage, so you can get more benefit out of that. And then the other group would say, well, you can't be relevant for 6 different locations on one page. So you want to target that from a relevancy perspective. And so I thought and I think it is even possible that if you go back 6 years, the algorithm would favor the link equity to the homepage, but things have shifted. And so it's really nice to see studies like the one Sterling Sky did that showed if you've got 6 locations, link them to the location pages, and it actually might boost. I would suggest everybody test it. So if you're a law firm, you've got 4 locations, run it for a month at the location pages, run it for a month at the homepage, see what difference there is. I would probably test it.
Yeah. And just with any of my recommendations at all, I always recommend that everyone test
Yep.
and verify for yourself.
Yep.
That's the only way you know if anything actually will really work for you or not. I think a lot of the conversion things are no-brainer type things. Like
Yeah.
you want that page to convert. Putting some trust signals on the page that's also a no-brainer thing. You want people to know that you have a good reputation. But layout, placement, the actual verbiage for those are things that you should definitely test to see what is the best. What's going to work best for you.
On the right, down here under the content, wherever you're going to sort of place those conversion things. Sort of a related question is, if you have this areas that you serve section, so you're going to make a nice location landing page for that. That's going to be awesome for organic visibility, right? But you only have one GMB listing because you're a brick and mortar business. You just have one GMB listing. So in that case, I can't link my GMB listing to specific location pages. So in that case, you'd go homepage. Like the GMB.
Yeah, if that's the case, I don't know. Personally, I would still do the location landing page. I would test them both out. And I would think that the location landing page is still going to be best.
Right.
The areas we serve, the locations where you don't have a physical address, you're going to get a lot from organic. You'll see a lot of improvements from organic. And I'm thinking that maybe a little bit confusing to the crawlers having one location with a physical address linking to the home page when there is a page for it on the site, a location landing page.
Yeah, because your areas you serve is going to, of course, include the main area where you actually have a physical location. So that would be the landing page. So your GMB would link to that one, not the home page. And then all the other areas you serve would mostly be focused on an organic play in the local organic results.
Right. And of course, test and see if you agree with it or not. It may not be, you never know. It may not be the case. It may be the case. And it will change from business to business, from city to city. There's so many factors in local ranking that it's impossible to know what's going to be best until you test it. Yeah,
makes sense. So if I'm making these location landing pages or areas I serve landing pages, do I, and I want to put some reviews on these pages because it'll help them convert better. Your stat of 33% was kind of amazing, and it makes so much sense. Right? It's like, see those trust signals. Can I take my reviews from Google and put them on that page, or do they have to be direct testimonials that I solicited?
I would always ask the reviewer if you have contact information for them, if it's okay to use it on the site. That's just the safest thing to do. A lot of companies pull them from Google. Google does not like using that for aggregate ratings. They like aggregate ratings to be from some review tool on your website where you allow people to leave reviews. So that would just be something to consider.
So it's a consideration for the aggregate rating schema. You're not supposed to use Google reviews for that. They should be first-party direct testimonials. But it's okay to just take review content from your Google reviews and just put them on the page as long as you don't mark them up in schema. Yeah. All right. Cool. Good. Because, a lot of businesses already have a bunch of reviews on Google. They can just skip them now, and there you go. Boom, I got trust signals on my website. I don't see there being a problem with that. What is Google going to say? Oh no, that person reviewed you. Like you can't use that review to help your business. Right. It's probably a good idea to even add plus 25 more positive reviews on Google. Click here to see all of our Google reviews, which then go over to Google.
That's a great idea.
Google will probably be happy about that. Oh, great. They're sending more people to Google.
And there are plugins and things and widgets that will pull in your reviews from different sites onto your site for you. So I think that's just the normal practice for a lot of businesses now is to include reviews from Yelp or Google or other review sites onto their website.
Yeah, totally. We've got a software system called Reputation Builder that it collects first-party reviews and helps you drive Google reviews and other sites. And then we've got this nice little widget. You just plug it in your website. And then,
awesome.
There you go. Trust signals. What about, you mentioned local schema. So you want that on the location pages. let's say, okay, this is a great example. I'm a law firm. I have one physical location. I have 10 areas I serve. Do I put my location schema on all of those pages or just the one that actually matches the location? Right.
I would just do the one that matches the location.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't have the physical address and things like that for the area served pages. So it would be just for that one location.
Yeah, I actually knew the answer to that, and I knew that you knew the answer to that, but I wanted to ask it for the audience because it's a real common mistake that people make. They're like, oh, local business schema. They put it on every page of their website, and so that actually is a no-no. That
was actually the first thing I thought of is like people putting local business schema on every single page. Like, don't do it.
Yeah, they just put it in the WordPress header, and then boom, it's on every page, right? Don't do that. Don't put it in your WordPress header or whatever your header is and whatever CMS you use. You definitely you should only have it on the page that references that specific location.
Correct.
Yeah, you really, I know you didn't have time to go into detail on this, but I was curious about some of the tools you talked about on the technical side of things. So, on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, there was Sitebulb and Search Console and Lighthouse. And I just wanted to get a little bit more thoughts from you on those. Like, what is Sitebulb and how would you use it?
So, sure. Sitebulb, it is, I would guess, a crawler for your site. It goes through all of the pages. It finds errors. It can do speed tests for you, all kinds of different things to find any issues with your site in general that may be causing issues for the crawler. So for Googlebot and things like that. So it's a really useful tool. I love the way that it displays the information afterwards. It's very user friendly. You don't have to be someone super comfortable with technical audits to understand Sitebulb.
Yeah, that's interesting to me. I've been in SEO for a long time, so I kind of grew up with Screaming Frog, and
me too.
Screaming Frog is like a scanner tool, like a site analysis tool. Doesn't have what you just said, which is super intuitive, nice user interface. Screaming Frog feels like a very in the trenches. You need to be a technical SEO master to be able to use it. Whereas it sounds like Sitebulb is more like if you're just the regular business owner or just getting started, this makes more sense. It's easier to understand.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment 100%. And I've always used Screaming Frog until I learned about Sitebulb earlier this year, and I was like, this is kind of nice. I can see it being useful. I think people who spend a lot of time with technical SEO will probably still prefer Screaming Frog just because the types of things you can do with it. It has more usability and features for someone who's done a ton of technical SEO and that's very familiar with it. Right. But for someone who's just maybe you're doing your first technical audit, or maybe you're not a technical SEO, but you're helping a client, or you're the site owner. It's, I think, easier for people in that way.
Yeah, well, I could say I have a computing science background. I have a pretty technical SEO background, and I've always found Screaming Frog a little bit what am I supposed to do next? Yeah. So Sitebulb sounds very interesting. And then what about Lighthouse? How would you use that? That's a bit more technical too, isn't it?
Yeah. Speed tests, use accessibility issues. So that's what Lighthouse is primarily for. And you can use Lighthouse specifically to see how your speed is for mobile, which is going to be really important. So that's primarily how I use it. A lot of the times, location landing pages have an issue with images because people like to put large images to show off, I don't know, the city that they're in, or for that location, this is our building or this is our team. Yep. And those images are often not optimized very well, and they're too large. Yeah.
10 megabyte image right on the website.
Yeah, and slows down the page a lot. So if you're just trying to look at individual pages and get an idea of do a speed audit for your location landing pages, Lighthouse is a really great tool for that.
Nice. Those are good tips. I think people will like that. All right. You know what? I think that's all my questions. So yeah. So anyone watching, if you have any further questions, it's at Amanda T. Jordan on Twitter. So you can definitely tweet at her with the hashtag WLSS, and Amanda will get back to you. So all right.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Amanda. It was a pleasure talking with you. I really enjoyed your presentation, and thank you.
Thank you.